In today's video, we are going to be talking about floating islands, and specifically natural floating islands. So an island can float naturally when it is built upon very light plant roots or other plants. And so this is the first island we are going to examine. And this island is named El Ojo, and it is in Argentina. Now the Ojo translates to the eye. And this is a circular island on a circular lake. Now, this is probably the most famous floating island, with many YouTube videos discussing it. And if I go here to Google Earth Pro and look at historic imagery, as you can see, it is rotating along its axis. So it's down there, then it's to the right, then it's to the right, oh, and then it's over there. And it just keeps on rotating. And this rotation erodes away the sides to make it look this circular. And it's just really cool looking at how it has rotated over time. Now, this island was first found on Google Earth by Sergio Newspiller, and he actually tried to make a Kickstarter to visit this island, but it turned out to be unsuccessful. The next floating island we are going to look at is an island pond in Springfield, Massachusetts. An island pond can be found right here, and this is the island we are talking about. So, this island actually made news in April of last year because it moved for the first time in 20 years due to high water levels. So here's the island in 1997, and the first time for it to really move was in 2005. And in 2005, it moved over here. As you can see, it kind of remains pretty stagnant up until last year, when we can see it moves a lot from up here all the way to down here. And down there it has remained since. So who knows when this island will move next, but I assume that the residents of these houses here really want the island to move. There was actually a news story about the resident of some of these houses here who's lived here since the early 1990s, and he clearly doesn't want the island right next to his house. The next floating island is from my home state, Minnesota, and this floating island, more accurately a floating bog, is actually in a lake I've been to before. This is North Long Lake, and if we look down here, you could see this kind of broken up piece of land here, and let's say we go a while ago. As you can see, in 2015, this was a solid mass. Now, what happened between 2015 and 2020 to make it look like this? Well, in 2018, the bog actually broke away from that piece of land and started floating around. And this bog actually destroyed some docks and damaged some boats. But 3 men, Kevin Martini, Bill Schmidt, and Randy Tresdal, actually wanted to destroy this bog so it couldn't destroy anything else. And so eventually they actually destroyed it, which is what you can see here. This is the bog split into pieces. But I just find it extremely crazy that this has happened on a lake I have been to. And the next floating island is in Lake Chippewa in Wisconsin, so right here. And this is another floating bog, and it is right here. And this has been nicknamed the 40-acre bog. And as we can see, it moves up here, then it moves over here, and it gradually moves closer and closer to this island over here. And so it keeps moving over there. And every year, actually, it sometimes gets close to here. And so the people who live in this lake actually have to push this island. And here's a video, actually, of people pushing. I think this is actually a different bog, but there are a few of these in Chippewa Lake. And so here's a video of all of these boats pushing this bog away from shore. I just think this is crazy that you could just move an island like this. Up next, we have this lake in Italy. And so this is around Lago di Posta Fibrino, and it is to the south here. Now, this is another circular island named La Rota. And so, yet again, as we flip through this footage, you will see that it has moved locations. Not all that much, but recently it has moved over here. And my prediction is that it'll go up here eventually. So I'm going to be looking at one more floating island, and this is in Turkey. And this is another one, which is definitely more famous. I mean, there's a parking lot to visit it, and there have been people who've stood on these islands before. And so these are the floating islands on Lake Aksakal in the Bengal province. And here's a picture of somebody sitting on them. And of course, you can see that they have moved around. And I think that it's interesting how this lake has a bunch of islands in it. And there are a lot more examples of floating islands in the world. I mean, the Wikipedia article states this many, but this has just been a few of the floating islands around the world. See you next time.